After a brilliant home race, Corentin Lazine has put himself at the summit of the Apex Racing League GT3 Trophy Pro standings. We head into the final 3 rounds of the season to see if he can convert his first ever ARL Championship. Welcome to the Apex Racing TV esports studio. My name is Sam Fitzpatrick, and alongside me is David Sampson. And we're going to bring you all the coverage from Donington today as the championship heads into round 5 of the season. David, this is a lot of fun. This is not a circuit that we get to go to a whole lot, especially in this level of car. It's a little bit of a wild card race, really. We've got, you know, Long Beach, which also isn't always used, but I'm very happy to, visit this place.
I like Donington. I like it in GT3s as well. I have done it in the past in officials. I mean, it's big enough for the car. It's questionable if it's big enough for the racing. It can get very tight, especially when there's door-to-door going on. I've had some moments where I've careered. I mean, grass is different now. I remember some moments just careering across the grass.
Yeah, creating curves, hitting the grass, and wiping out the car 10 cars ahead. So,
correct.
Hopefully we won't see too much of that today. Let's have a look at what happened last time out at Spa. And it was a very good qualifying once again for Corentin Lazine. He's the man in form. Really, he's been the man to beat from the start of the season. He had a couple of bad rounds, particularly in the wet back at Suzuka, but besides that, he's been very, very strong. And it was another pole position for him. However, there were issues for the drivers behind. Brandon Tabone getting involved in this big collision with 2 other drivers.
He lost it on his own, which is unforced error from himself. This was a very difficult race. A lot of cars, competitive track, close racing. Obviously, we had some moments, but we also had some great racing.
So yeah, that was Tabone's off, and then it was sort of a separate incident behind as well, which wiped out some of our drivers. Wasn't a good day for Lucas Tellman. This was the start of all of it, and arguably the cause of all of it. Collision with Leon Mishka, and that set him with a lot of work to do.
Yeah, and it was the work that was probably the problem, because it led to a rather, I don't know if you're going to cover it, a rather an intense moment near the end of the race.
We will do. That was a big incident for our amateur leader at the time. Hard into the wall for Dustin Winker.
Yeah, we saw that incident a few times with the accuracy.
So it was an easy win for Lazine. Viella making it a 1-2. Here was the dive from Tellman that you were alluding to before. He did get a big penalty for this. I think it was 60 seconds. And that was in an attempt to get the reverse grip pole. You needed one more place to get reverse grip pole, and that collision meant that he did not get reverse grip pole. And a sizable penalty, and he has to start from the pits, or he has a qualifying ban for this round because of that incident.
Yeah, I mean, I've already covered the incident, so I've made my thoughts clear. I like Talman, he's a good guy, but yeah, that was just, that was not it.
Cialfi was on pole for race 2. Urbestein, his teammate, crashed out. Another one who crashed out that corner.
Yeah, brutal, the curb contact. Every time with the Acura, but I think that time was slightly different. I think he got loose, lifted off the throttle, and the car behind just wasn't to know.
Leon Mishko won the other race 2 earlier on this season at Road Atlanta, and he put himself in a good place to get another one with this overtake. And it was looking like it was going to be a 1-2 actually for his team, for Impulse, but unfortunately that was a hardware issue for Sheppers.
Yeah, he went straight on. It was wheel failure, I think. Yeah, just horrible to see.
That was the battle right at the end. Korshavin looking like he was going to get his first podium, but a little bit of netcode contact.
Yeah, that was no one wanted to see that. Yeah, just a little bit of netcode there robbed him of the race, unfortunately.
And Mishka cruised to the win. So of course this is our 3rd B final race where we have 2 races, and he could potentially make it 3 from 3 in the race 2. He hasn't won any other races this season, but he could be the master of the reverse grids if he can win today. Well, let's have a look at the championship standings then, because they really changed a lot in the last round. Lazine now leads by quite a margin. These results now take into consideration the drop score as well. So Lazine looking very, very good. However, his drop score is quite bad, so he needs to make sure he doesn't have any bad rounds. But yeah, you can see a decent gap now, and maybe it's Mishko the one who's most likely to challenge.
On form, I mean, they're all on form. I mean, I know Talman got that big penalty, but looking on form, Leon on form, I mean, those top 5 guys who you showed are all capable of winning.
And in the Pro-Ams, we've got Robin Vist currently at the head, and I don't feel like he's necessarily dominated this season, Robin, but he's been able to establish himself quite a lead in recent rounds.
Yeah, I mean, when he scored big, he scored very big, leaving a big margin between them, and his bad rounds aren't as bad as others as well, so that's typically how you do it.
Yeah, he's had one iffy round, but yeah, he's won 3 of the 5 rounds. So yeah, very impressive. Not by colossal margins, but yeah, it's been very, very good as the Dutch driver. In the amateurs, we currently have Pinti holding on to the championship lead. He had a good time of it, actually. Wasn't necessarily the fastest driver last time, but a lot of the amateurs made mistakes. Of course, we saw instance for, I think Smallorts had instance, Rinka had a good shot at winning as well. But Pinti edging closer and closer to that title, even though, of course, we both put Livingston as our favourite, and Livingston has had good pace, but is got a bit of catching up to do.
Yeah, I'm picking someone different this week.
Yeah, and totally not because I picked Livingston myself. That's
no,
definitely not
totally not.
In the teams, Valkyrie competition at the head, of course, Impulse would have got a few extra points had it not been for that hardware issue for Sheffers. So they've got a lot of work to do, and Delachat had an awful time. But I think Bithu as well had some incidents. So just a rubbish round for them, and there's no drop scores in the team. So it's left them with a lot to do. Valkyrie will be hard to catch, 130 points clear of the rest of the order. That's a reminder of our calendar then. We've just got 2 more rounds to go after this one. We've got, next round is in 2 weeks for Long Beach. And then a week after that, we will have the finale at Imola. And our format, it's the reverse grid again, just as we had last time out. And it's the top 10 get reversed. And of course, it did cause... it was clear that that 10th place was lucrative last time out. We can say that.
We can say that.
Yeah,
we can say that. Yeah, I mean, I like this format. Obviously, I like the idea that we split it up, but the heat format is a lot of fun.
In terms of the weather as well for this round, no risk of rain. I think one of the drivers did say it's a bit unrealistic, isn't it, for Donington to have no risk of rain? But here we are, 0% chance of rain. And
it's not raining today.
I mean, look out your window. If you're in the UK,
yep,
it doesn't rain as much as we think. I think I saw a stat where it rains 6 times more in Wales than it does in East Anglia, where I'm from. And of course, if you said that to someone in East Anglia, they'd say, well, it's always raining in that case, because it's raining 1 in 6 days here. But it doesn't rain as much as we think. We've got some offers, by the way, from Apex Racing Academy for GT3 setups. So if you want to head over to apexracingac.com, then you can get free Mercedes AMG GT3 setups for the entire iRacing season. Those data packs created by Alejandro Sanchez, who's also doing some free track guides on the Apex Racing team YouTube channel. So do make sure to take advantage of that offer if you're racing in these GT3 cars, because yeah, the Merc is every now and again the go-to car. I think this week, unfortunately, at Portimao or Algarve over the 3D curbs, apparently it's a bit of a handful. But I think besides that, it is usually the go-to car. In terms of our picks for this round, I've got Corentin Lazine,
championship leader,
which is a bit of a boring choice.
Yeah, you went with boring choices and then Simon Livingston.
Yeah, no, yeah, really. But I mean, I feel bad about it, but I haven't won too many of these, but I've got to sort of go for it.
So you've gone try hard.
Yeah.
Okay.
What did you go for?
Yeah, I went. I'm feeling good about my picks. Obviously, we'll see if it comes true. I've gone with Andre Viella, the Valkyrie driver. Solid driver, and as I say, these top 5, any of these can win races. In Pro-Am, I'm feeling Jan Nova, so he can't let me down now, so it's all on him. And maybe a boring pick, but I really have been impressed with Pinti of late.
I like your pick for Nova. He's currently 4th in the championship.
Yep.
And hasn't won a race this season, got 1 podium. But yeah, maybe that would be good. And yeah, Pinti's been very solid, hasn't he, this season. So we will transfer over to an advert, but when we're back, we will be covering the qualifying session for this round 6 of the season.
Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.
Thanks to VRS for sponsoring this broadcast, of course, and of course do make sure to check out apexracingsim.com if you want to get yourself some sim racing equipment. But here we are at Donington in the early stages of qualifying. The amateurs just out on track at the moment, and they're going to be able to set plenty of laps, because I think something that we didn't mention earlier on, David, is that we're using the national layout, which is very, very short.
Remind me.
So that is without the hairpins at the end of the lap. That lap.
Oh, the oval.
One way of playing it. I mean, I think you should go back to kindergarten, I'll see if you think that's noble.
Was this by choice, or was this matching the officials?
By choice. I think this one, because it's the new iRacing season, I think these final few rounds. Well, actually, no, I think Imola and Long Beach, I think, matched like real life IMSA and WEC, so they were easy. But this one was a complete wild card, and I think I just felt like doing Donington, because we don't get the chance.
It makes sense. What, 50 GT3 sprint race? I mean, who doesn't want
the
lappers doing every 3 laps?
The reason why it's a sprint race is so that we don't have lapping.
Oh,
It was genius. 30 minutes, we shouldn't have any lapping, so it solves that issue.
right.
Now, obviously, you may argue, well, this is one of the most tricky circuits to overtake on, and incidents will be aplenty, so you probably shouldn't have a reverse grid. You could argue that, but we've decided to avoid the lapping issue, mainly.
Well, I love the full circuit. I'm not so sure I've done the national.
Okay.
But yeah, I've done the full version in officials as well, back in when the GT3 champ was here. All right, so we follow Occhipinti in VR for a lap. Well, we're not in VR, he is. So he's not cutting enough on the left there. You want to get 50% of your car over on pit road there. And you should probably apex. I'm going to critique everything, although he's probably pretty quick.
Well, he's your pit.
Slam this curb. Just open that up a little bit more. It took me a while to learn this track, but I really do enjoy it.
It's a tough one.
Yeah, it is. Just want to use these curbs. This is the committal corner that really sets up this. You've got to be brave here. You just got to know. It's like Road Atlanta, turn 3. You just got to believe and understand where you. Oh, that's perfect. Very nice. Let the car open up. Now I'm a bit confused. So there's no chicane now or not?
Yeah, you go right, left. Instead of left, right.
Usually you go left into the chicane. Now we're gonna. I have no idea what to suggest here. Sausage curbs, lovely. Oh, and that's the lap.
Yeah.
Oh my. Right, yeah. So you really want to put 50% of your car here on the pit exit lines, like literally half it. Yeah. No, you can get half your car out there, and it really opens up this long sweeping corner. 51% though is a slowdown.
Okay, right.
Yeah,
sure.
not an off-track, a full-blown slowdown. And especially on this Mario Kart version of the track you've loaded, that'd be very hard to serve.
So Hodgson currently with the fastest time, and of course the 10 minutes are almost up, so Livingston can set one more lap from here. But
look at that, 50% over to the left. Simmons cooking, let's see. Not a bad choice for here, Ford. I mean, you probably want a little bit more traction at this track, but I still think the Ford's not going to be a bad choice, as long as he eats the curbs. So this should be the new lighting model, because iRacing was updated today.
True. Yeah.
So we'll keep an eye on
we had some issues with Spa, because we do adjust the colours ourselves, and yeah, with the iRacing lighting model, when it goes dark, it goes really, really dark.
Yeah, I'm having the same issue. I have a LUT file on my stream, and yeah, Sebring, when the cloud went overhead, like the stream couldn't see what was going on.
This is a really good first sector. Second sector's all right. I don't think it's going to be challenging for first. I think these will get him ahead of Bretonas, though, quite comfortably. I think he'll fill the chasm between Fowler and Bretonas. Maybe he'll get past Rinko as well. No, yep, just fills the chasm. That's all right for him. 5th place.
Yeah, I mean, on such a short track, you've really got to be opening up every corner. Full curb to curb. You got to just, if it's qualifying, just yeet over those sausage curbs. You don't want the car back, so just absolutely plough them.
Decent point by Alan in chat saying that the main overtaking spots on the circuit are the hairpins, and they have been taken away. So it will be tricky for the drivers to overtake, no doubt.
Yeah. I'm not sure what the slowest speed corner even is with this layout. Hence my point, the oval. But I mean, this kind of challenge for a heat race is always fun. Drivers can make excuses, but they have their chance in qualifying and in lap 1, T1. And that's going to make the difference. You just got to maximise where you can make differences.
Leon Mishka in chat reaffirming what we're saying. It's nearly impossible to overtake. Leon, of course, going for his 3rd consecutive race 2 win of the season. 1 race 2 at Road Atlanta, 1 at Spa as well. Let's see if he can do it today. Coco with the first Pro-Am time, and he's a little bit short of the amateur Hodgson. Schottler, though, fast enough to go to pole himself.
Very fast. I think the Porsche is definitely going to be a good choice here with the track. Like I said, traction focused here. I don't think high speed's going to come into it too much. As we see, he gets completely into the pit road. That's nice. Use all these curbs. We ride on board. See if he slams his left curb a little bit more than we saw the amateur. Yeah, there we go. Completely over it. We want to see the same again here, and then full track out onto it. There we go. Yeah, that's fine. But like I said, on such a short circuit, you just... Oh, he did blow it.
Yeah.
Well, you've got to use it all anyway for the lap, so it is what it is.
Would you take more risks with this being such a short lap, you think? You get so many more attempts.
I would just put in a steady banker, like a 1/10 and a half off what I can maximise, 2/10. Well, probably 1/10 and a half. It's so short. And then, yeah, you got to go for it one lap, because I think a 2/10 here might be worth 5-6 positions. It's so short.
Coco, a couple of tenths clear of the rest now. That's looking very strong for him. He has been really good in qualifying this season. He's got 3 out of 5 pole positions as Coco this championship, but hasn't necessarily reflected in his race result. He's up there in 3rd place in the championship, but got a lot of catching up to do on Robin Vist if he's going to challenge.
I like this livery update the Altitude boys have got.
Yeah, starts working with 3M recently. I think it's a recent thing anyway.
Yep.
Do you know about the... Well, I imagine you know a little bit about it, but have you seen the proposed Donington F1 layouts? You know, when Donington was going to host the Formula 1 back in 2010? Do you remember that story?
I remember the story.
And Silverstone in the end sweeps it in. I mean, anyone who's watching along, I recommend, you know, getting another monitor and just... I think if you just type in YouTube Donington F1 layout, it's very interesting what they would have done to the circuit.
So it's not a proposal that can happen in the future, it's a past.
Well, they started building it, but then they ran out of money because it turned out that Silverstone was going to keep hosting it anyway. Yeah. So they stopped building it. But yeah, this part of the circuit would have all been the exact same. And then after this one, this would have been like 2 quite like normal 90-degree corners, and then the new pit straight would have been all the way down here, all the way to where the hairpin is on the international out, and you would have the paddock on the right of Nova. So you're not on the inside of the circuit, obviously. And then this bit would all be new as well. You'd have a bit going to the, as we're looking at, to the left, which would have a big elevation change and then loop back onto the old pit straight. But the corner curves would all be the same. But yeah, it would have been interesting. I think it looks pretty good. But yeah, will never happen.
No. My picks are Sutherin. Well, Ochipindi P2, and then Jan Nova is currently 16th. Yeah,
Personal best first sector, though.
We've got a lot of these cold ice esport guys. A lot. 1, 2, 7 I see on track.
Yeah, they've stuck with the series well. It does tend to be the case with teammates that they sort of encourage each other to keep going. Tell each other to, yeah, not get dispirited.
Yeah.
Nova with another personal best. So this is looking pretty good.
Let's check.
It's looking very good, actually. I think this could be top.
Oh.
I would have said he would have gone P7. I think I'm going to go for P10 after that. P12. It's a little bit of a worse spark chicane than I thought. What's the personal best, though?
Yep, seems to tidy up a little bit, focus on the throttle off.
So here's our championship leader, Vist.
Yeah, he's had a really strong season. When he can, he absolutely maximises the points. I'm split on his livery, though.
Is that up on?
Yeah, it's a split livery. Yeah.
Were you a fan of the 99 BAR livery? The Monkey Strike and...
Yeah, no, I wasn't, but I know what you mean, yeah. I've done this split livery thing loads when I do an endurance with a guy from another team, so I've done this, yeah, plenty of times I've had a split livery run.
I think some of the best liveries are, and you see this in Formula 1 quite often, where the front of the car looks one colour and the side of the car looks another.
Renault.
Renault did it a lot in sort of 2017 to 2000. Well, I guess until it turned into Alpine.
I love that. Was it yellow from the side, black from the front and back? Was it something like that?
Yeah, something like that. And I think they sort of dabble in it a little bit now, where they have two colours. Because, like, every season they have, like, 3 rounds where it's, like, inverted colours. But it's not as good as what it used to be. Those yellow and black liveries were great.
Impressed, social media and press can get excited for the Ferrari livery. Like, they always get very excited. And
yeah,
I look
but
at it.
It does look good, right?
Well, I don't know. I just see red. That's all I see.
But that's F1 media, right? Is just hype about absolutely nothing.
And the Red Bull livery. I dream of it changing one day. Dream of it looking classy.
I think even Verstappen recently said it'd be cool if they did something different.
Yeah.
I mean, he needs to. He'll be in a B car anyway by the end of the season. He needs to be in the best team. So
it does make sense.
Everstein, who was having a very good time of it, got in within the reverse grid for race 2, but unfortunately crashed out from second place at Spa. He's not going to be anywhere near the reverse grid today if he cannot improve on this last... Well, actually, he's got 2 more attempts. It's such a short lap.
Oh, spin up.
I think that was coming out of the pits as well. Oh, that could be a penalty. That could be a penalty because he tried to rejoin.
Yeah, not his finest moment.
And someone's put a little bit of gravel on the track.
A little bit. Do you think we'll ever see a Verstappen.com F1 team? I know there's money and then there's money.
I've always said how Racing Bulls should be called, yeah, Verstappen.com, or, I mean, call it something. I mean, what's the point in calling it Racing Bulls? Call it an actual sponsor. Or Toro Rosso, like one or the other. Actually sell the name of the team.
Because Toro Rosso was just Red Bull and Italian, right?
Yeah.
And then they went with AlphaTauri,
which made sense.
Their fashion brand.
Yeah, fashion brand, yeah.
And now PayPal, Cash App, or whatever they're called.
Visa, Cash App, Racing Bulls. But everyone calls them Racing Bulls, which if I was Visa, I'd be like, why have you just called it Visa Cash App? Just absolute sellout.
Yeah, it was.
Like, I'd be down for that. Visa Cash App, Honda. Or Red Bull Powertrains.
Ford.
Ford, yeah. Right? Yeah, Visa Cash App, Ford. I think that'll be the name next season.
Yep, sounds plausible.
Jan Nova is not improving on this lap, but he did have a lot to gain in the final sector. And he did improve in the final sector, but it wasn't an improvement across the lap. So your pick not quite delivering what you wanted there.
None. Do we have any British drivers? Yes, we do. Andrew Brown.
And Mark Hutchinson.
Oh, yeah, I'm seeing them now. Loads.
Alexi Bari, one of the few drivers who can still improve. A personal best second sector, but it was not a good first sector. It's going to have to be... Well, you know what? His second sector was really good. If his third sector matches up to his second sector, it could be an improvement, but his first sector really did leave a lot to be desired.
So another factor with this open quali format, not only do we have temperature variation, let's say it's going up, which harms their lap, grip could be going up, which improves their lap, but more importantly, maybe, debris is coming onto the track, which hinders them. So you get double hinder 1 pro, well, the track could call, but, I mean, it's an interesting factor that, I don't know, it adds quite a dynamic that we're not used to in qualifying in the officials.
I think the in-sim time is in the morning, if I recall correctly. I think it's like 8:30 in the morning, I want to say. I could be wrong. It is... we can't see it on that one. But, yeah, it's going to get warmer. Yeah, 20 to 9 at the moment, so I can't remember when it actually started. So, yeah, we'll be getting potentially less grippy as the session goes on. But, yeah, only 19 degrees track temperatures. Clearly not gained too much.
No. But the grip level for sure would be going up, but also the debris. Especially a couple of the corners here where we're seeing it being kicked up over and over and over again. These boys are aiming to follow very closely. Closer than I would want to follow.
So first few times being posted. Mishka, the fastest of the pros so far, but expect that to change a lot. Could be the closest qualifying that we have all season, this, with it being the shortest track of the season.
Yeah, I think it will be.
Not quite the F1 sim racing gaps that we had.
That was insane.
Interlagos, with drivers shaving thousands of each other across the line.
I mean, 3 of them matched times.
Yeah. Smooth there from Lazine, but he's not the fastest in either of the first 2 sectors. I mean, this is not going to put him... well, it might put him ahead of Coco, but I think others are improving as well. I think we could well see a 1 minute 2.6 this time round. Mishka only enough a second.
Yeah, Koko's lap is looking really good. He's on the cusp of pro, right? 4.490.
Taboni into the 0.9s. The scene only 8.
3-2. We've got 3 AMs in the top 6 at the moment, but there's still plenty of time for the pros to get a lap in.
Including this guy, Tom Euler.
It's a very different photo. It's not like, you know, esports. It's more like dating app.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It's a bit more classy. Big smile, collar.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's in the background. Some high vis, it looks like.
Looks like a jungle setting.
Yeah?
That's what I'm getting vibes of. Big leaves, yeah. Yeah, usually, you know, you pull the angry face, squinted eyes, and you squash your arms together. I mean, that's what I did.
Few more improvements being set. Mishka now to the top, ahead of Tabone. Your Tortoise 16th. We're seeing a lot of drivers out of our position still. A B3 improves to P5.
The margins are so small. It's just about getting the entire lap together. Car setup, everything. It's just oof. Just got to be able to hook it all up. Less than 4 tenths separate the top 13.
We did get, well, he's not in the session. Lucas Tellman is not in the session today. He did have a qualifying ban, which he will still need to serve in the next round at Long Beach, which isn't really the track I'd like to serve a qualifying ban. Hopefully we see Lucas back before the end of the season, but it very much means that his championship hopes are dashed, and it will probably be a two-way fight between Lacine, who's got quite a gap, and Leon Mishka, who is currently on provisional pole.
Yep. Messenger Tokyo. 07 Racing. I swore it was a different team. I think we've spoke about this a few times.
I think last week, didn't we go through all of his teams?
Yeah,
and I think he's represented, I think, 5 different teams in different ARL series so far. By the way, shout out to Apex Racing Academy, and of course they are delivering free Mercedes GT3 data packs for this season for the IMSA sports car official series, designed by Alejandro Sanchez. You can get setups and track guides and all sorts, and of course they're free coaching as well if you're part of the Discord. So do make sure to visit apexracingac.com. It is one of the options, as well as the bronze, silver and gold that you can click on, and it's totally free. So just put in your email, and then you'll be granted access to all of that stuff. So do check out apexracingac.com and take advantage of that offer.
Okay, so currently a Mishka pole with a 2.9, and then Brandon Sabone very close with also a 2.9. Raymond Schiffers a 3 flat, and then the Pro-Am Frederick Koch a 3 flat, and then I mean it's so tight now. Less than 3 tenths separate the top 13.
I don't think Grieven's going to improve this time. Stays 9th. Good lap so far for Shephers. He'll be pretty close to the top here. But he did not improve. It was a really good second sector for him. Maybe he did improve. Maybe he got 100th or something off, but yeah, wasn't enough. He toes back. Mishka's not going to... Well, actually, no, this is a really good lap for Mishka, but it's not personal best. He's like a couple hundred slower. But if there was room for improvement on his 3rd sector, he could find an improvement here. It's not taking the shortest run to the line.
No, that's it. That's a good indication if they think this lap is the one. Because you've got to pick, haven't you, setting up the next lap or just taking this one?
You can see there in the bottom laps, it was a very good lap. It would have been enough for P2 on the grid. But he, is lining up another one. You can see he's using absolutely every inch of the circuit.
Yeah, exactly. It's massive here at Daytona, especially on the short layout. Really
good first sector. Lacine as well with a nice lap being put, but he failed to improve. Vitorza moves up to 4th.
Yeah, what an improvement. Tricky corner, this double right. Looks so easy, but getting the power down and delivering it well for this run, long run straight, is not easy.
This is another good lap here from Mishka. It's going to be like a 0.9 or a 0.0.
Oh, not the best second part of that. No.
And he lines it up again. What was that time?
No.
Oh, so that was a 3-1. Still got a couple more cracks at it. Pierre Ubithi. Good lap this from him. No, he messed up the final chicane. Yellow, not same.
Yellow, P9, big jump there. 4 tenths separate the top 18. We don't usually get to say that.
Viella getting a nice draft from his teammate, but it only gets him up 1 place. 13th for our championship leader.
Oh. Delatres car there, losing the room. I love how tight it is. The top almost suggesting that's almost the maximum for the skill level that's out there. A 2.9. Very close.
I meant to Viella was the championship leader before. Of course, I meant Lacine. Lacine is the leader in this duo, giving his teammate Viella a draft.
Is Alexi in chat? Oh, we're running the short layout. No switchbacks in the hairpins tonight then.
Not a great lap from these guys, Viella and Lacine.
Corshavin improves to P10.
So these guys, of course, got to complete their lap before the 32 minutes are up. So now this is the last attempt for Valkyrie competition.
Yep,
And they're still
they will get
11th and 14th.
Yeah, I mean, the Ford doesn't look like it's the pick. I mean, we can see that from Corinton Lacine, Viella. Very strong drivers, just not being able to get it.
Utorta stays 4th. Sheffer starts in his last lap. And he went top with his previous one. And that's by half a tenth, which frankly, in comparison to the other gaps, is quite a margin.
It is.
The others have been trying to shave off hundredths, and he managed to find over a 10th with that latest attempt. And the ball is now in Leon Mishka's court, who has done a very good lap here, but again, he's not taking the shortest run to the line. So he is lining it up, but he will not have time to complete this lap, so Mishka will not be on pole. I imagine his theoretical Mishka is probably faster than Sheffer's best lap, but hasn't quite been able to put it all together.
So the Impulse Boys 1 and 2.
Oh. They're not going to need to come into the pits during the race, so
yes,
they need to practice up.
Probably haven't practiced it yet. On board with Tim Grieven. What's this lap looking like? No, the second sector will...
Yeah, he's not going to finish in time. No one else is going to do a lap.
Just went some TV time. Smart man.
But enough of him. And back to us. So, yeah, good lap there from Sheffers. And, I mean, we saw it in race 2 last time out, right? Impulse at 1 and 2, and they're 1 and 2 again.
Yeah, obviously Brandon Topone split in the two mighty teams of Absolute Motorsport, Ace Sliff and the Impulse Boys. But, yeah, we saw some really tight times. They're going to just keep it together, be composed. If they drop a tyre on the grass here, even for a moment, you're going to form a train next to you. An impenetrable train that you'll never be able to fix. So... And we are going to see a lot of opportunistic moves. This is what I'm saying. You cannot. The drivers need to be very composed, be confident, and I say, if you look weak here, you're going to be
Yes.
Absolutely gobbled up.
This is going to potentially be a race 1 defined by mistakes rather than overtakes, because it's going to be tough. 25 minutes. See if the drivers can gain some places, and of course the top 10 will be inverted for race 2. But there is Sheffers on pole, ahead of his teammate Mishka, Tabone, Utortus, Kokok, a Pro-Am driver up in 5th place overall, Abithu, Schutler, and Vist. Then it is Euler, Koroshavan, Lacine missing out on the top 10. He needs to gain 1 place for the reverse grid pole. Grieven in 12th. Then it's Mola, Viella, Torquio, Veal, Pindle, Brown, Hodgson, who's top of the amateurs, Bari, Ochapinti, Eberstein, Hutchinson, Rinka, Fowler, Livingston, Nova, Gritones, Cialfi, Van Spijker, Herkenrath, Sebastian, Senna, Burnt, and Maggioli.
So our picks, both the Valkyrie boys, by the way, I didn't pick up on that initially. Corinton Lacine and Andre Felipe Viella, both outside the top 10.
Yeah, it's almost as though we don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah. Very high rate. Just go show. It looks like it might be the Ford or them.
Do you think it's an element as well that this is a weird track to go to? Like, there's no sort of experience.
Sure, yeah. I mean, it's not going to help. Yeah, I mean, probably 10% of the guys on this track had to buy this track for this league.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sam.
Helping iRacing's economy, they need the money.
Brilliant.
I'm looking around these aerial shots and seeing if there are, because I don't know if anyone remembers, on Top Gear, Clarkson did a Skoda review, and he did a Skoda race against a Ferrari at Donington. And he used all the routes that they were using for the new circuit as part of like the race to prove that the Skoda was a better car. But I think this was scanned in like 09 or something, or 10. And so I think it was all before that. There's no little weird half like rallycross parts, unfortunately. But instead, we've got over 30 cars on track, 35 of them, to manage this Donington circuit. And we will get underway very, very soon. And it is a great position for Impulse Racing to try to launch an attack in the Team's Championship. Away we go for 25 minutes of racing at Donington.
See some
and
free wide action already.
A good start for Impulse. They hold the lead to Boney and Utortus alongside heading into turn 1 as well. Not quite sure who's going to come out on that. It looks like Taboni may have just got the run. They'll remain side by side down the corner curves.
Yeah, I think Brandon Taboni's got that. All very controlled and clean at the moment. Is anyone going to try a late lunge here on the sweeping left-hander? Because going around the outside is so low traction. Any fender clips? Nothing. Look at that.
A little bit out of shape there for Lacine, who's actually dropped 2 places. He's down to 13th place, so falling further away from the reverse grip pole, and his teammates being attacked as well.
Oh, what an excellent first lap so far. I hope I'm not about to curse it, but you love to see this many cars.
And there's been a change for the lead as well. Mishka has overtaken Sheffers, which is an interesting one. Not sure if that was choreographed or not. They are teammates. We're riding on board with Viel as he looks at Brown, trying to overtake Viella, but Viella way later on the brakes, barely makes the corner, but he's pulled it off. And look at the line for Tokyo, who sized through and might gain 2 places.
Yeah, I mean, he had to overslow for that, so it was very dangerous. I imagine there was some dodging that had to happen there, because you commit to that hairpin under braking quite early and then slam into the curbs, and yeah, he really had to stomp there.
Amazing stuff there from Tokyo to gain 2 places. Nearly got Biella as well. But there is Mishka, our new race leader.
So these guys are proving us wrong. They didn't survive Spa, yet they can survive Donington on lap 1. Look at them all.
Mola has had an issue. He's gone off at the old hairpin, I think. And yeah, he has dropped down the order down to 22nd place. He's lost 9 places. Amazing start for Koroshavin, by the way. Koroshavin has gone up 3 places from 10th on the grid to 7th, which is particularly unusual because usually it's the drivers on the odd side of the grid who get a better start because that's where the pole sitter is. But yeah, not the case there. From 10th up to 7th.
And Jan Schluter, who was looking very fast in qualifying, is the opposite of that. He is down 3. Oh, unfortunately, that puts him on the cusp, P10. Oof, that was tight.
I think a bit of a bump there from Nova. Mola continues to drop places.
Is that Rowan Vist behind? Don't. Oh my God. From this camera angle, it just looks crazy.
I think Mola, is Mola still carrying damage? I mean, he's dropping further and further back in his McLaren. But Fowler now ahead of these guys.
Ooh, what's the X limit? I suppose it's only a short race.
20.
Oh yeah, that's fine. You are so inconsistent, it's untrue.
No, I'm consistent, it's always 20.
Yeah, but that's not consistent for the drivers.
Mola up ahead of Nova now. We're watching Cialfi, who had a great run of it last time out, not having quite so much pace it looks like tonight for Cold Ice Esports, but he's got Van Spiker very close behind. His teammate might help him out here by distracting Van Spiker, and he does. Herkenrath getting underneath.
Yeah, I think he's going to have the better run, the better line for T1 here. Although he's handed it to the Merc. Let's see, he's obviously confident of his straight line speed. And yeah, looks like it's okay then. Yep, nicely done. Alright, we've got some replays. So obviously lap 1 T1. It was all very polite.
Yeah.
Like we say, Leon Mitchell got the lead. Must have been choreographed, right? Like,
Yeah, I think he was into the double rights of Coppice. Here was some overtakes with Lacine trying to get underneath. Oh, so Lacine really unstuck to his car there and couldn't get the move done. And that looks very choreographed. Ichigo going for the championship, obviously, so it makes sense.
so this is what happened to Mola.
So, oh, wow. So bouncing with
What a
Biella.
save! Yeah, he was looking at the car next to him, not the car in front or the corner in front. Oh, I like this camera angle. Full GT7 at Donington. This is looking good. Oh, good run from Tom Euler here. Can he utilise it though? Probably not.
Biss needs to think smart here. Going for the Pro-Am Championship, doesn't need these points necessarily, and he's not going to fight it too hard.
Good call there.
And he's still in reverse grid 2nd place.
This Frederick Cocote's looking very pro-y.
Well, he needs to win the championship before he can be a pro. That's not actually a strict rule.
I was going to say.
It'll help him get the pro. So to say. I mean, if anyone who wins the Prams, immediately a pro. Everyone else, it feels a bit harsh to put them in pro if they miss out and finish second.
Sure.
As there's some changes ahead, Korshavan, I think, has just got past Kokok. He's up into 6th place. And Korshavan might lose another place. Apologies. So no, that was a B3 who I think got past. Or at least is the head of this anyway. Korshavan in 6th, Kokok in 7th.
But yeah, you're right. It was a B2 who got ahead of Kokok, and then as we tuned in, it was Korshavin. Korshavin's been looking really good.
Oh, look at that.
It's been looking really strong. Obviously a very strong spar, but just robbed right on the white flag by a little bit of netcode. Well, I don't think he called it a little bit, probably. Because it was race ending. We have a break, a top 3 breakaway. What did we miss? You taught us, who we did see was a little uneasy in qualifying. He's 1.3 seconds back.
Oh, and straight on goes Biella. Tokyo was not going to give that one up. Biella cuts the chicane, and now he's got to serve this slowdown.
Yeah, we'll hopefully get a replay. I'm not sure. It will happen too fast for me to make a call.
Hopefully, Biella serves it safely, and hopefully does.
Tim Grieven ahead of, well, Corinthia and Lacine and Tim Grieven are battling it out.
As Heindel can't quite get past Bari and Brown in front.
So Tokyo got back ahead of Viella. Obviously, Viella had to serve the slowdown.
Doesn't seem to be a very punishing slowdown, though. Didn't exactly losing much time. Although he might lose out to Veal yet. They're just ahead of us here. There they are. Let us know in chat who you're supporting, of course.
Yeah, he's held on to the draft. So, yeah, as long as he's not got any damage. His tyres are a little hot, but still in play. But yeah, I mean, we saw you taught us just, yeah, like, almost felt like he got one qualifying lap in, and the rest would have been good for 15, 16.
Yeah,
so it looked. From, I mean, there's a lot happening, but that's how it felt. Oh. And yeah, he's just slipped off the pace a little bit here.
Kokok trying to get past, or back past Korshavin here. Korshavin got past on the previous lap, and he stays ahead at the old hairpin. But this is quite a queue, and of course, just outside of this, just a little bit detached from these guys, it's Lacine, who of course wants to gain 1 place to get reverse good pole. Schuttler currently occupying that, but the more that these guys battle, the more Lacine will fancy his chances.
Yeah, I mean, I saw Tim Grieven get alongside Lacine a moment ago, so, I mean, Lacine's not having a free lunch out there. Okay, he's got some more replays, so... I don't know, man.
I think that was on the... I think it's a racing instant.
It's just a racing instant, yeah. I mean, there's a little bit of argy-bargy, which you don't like to see, but, I mean, yeah, just hard racing, I think.
KT in chat supporting Russ Fowler. As Lacine's got past Schuttler, or has he?
No, they're side by side. Schuttler's in the Porsche. It's not going to be easy to pass through the sweeping sections.
He does stay ahead.
I tell you, that little touch from onto Lacine, that was, let's say, smart.
Grieven looks very quick behind as well. He might launch an attack. He's not going to have too many opportunities.
Shout out to this Jan Schuttler. 2K.
Wow.
And he's dooring with Corinthia Lacine 8K. I can't even begin to describe the comparisons in iRacing there. It's not 4 times, put it that way. But I mean, it's not going to be easy to battle a Porsche around this track. Almost feels like they have infinite traction, and the Ford, you're just... Lacine's using all of his skill to try and get some traction.
Grieven backing out of turn 1, had an opportunity to go alongside Lacine, but opted out of it.
I hate that I'm seeing so many Acuras. I don't know how much they paid.
Top 6 Acura. Oh, sorry, second down C6 Acura.
Yeah. It's just that I feel like we see it in GTP, GT3. It's just a bit
Yeah,
much.
it's strange. And it's probably the car in GT3 that I think people are least enthusiastic about.
Correct.
It's probably the least recognisable brand.
I think the second iRacing announced it, my reply was Honda ?
Well, yeah, you call it an Acura now.
Well,
When we first talked about it, you would be
I
like,
know.
Sam, why are you calling it an Acura? It's a Honda.
yeah, I mean, yeah, that is what it is. IMS is American, right? Oh, really using that 50% I said about to its maximum, because it's a brutal slowdown. Just as you start turning, you know, it pops up and you're like, no, I didn't mean to.
There's the gap between second and third. It's been, I mean, less than half a second. You can clearly see for the last few laps. But cannot muster anything, can Tabone so far. Looking calm.
Top three are the top three are really pulling away though. If we see how close it was in qualifying, your Tortoise is now 3.7 seconds off. So it just came down to the consistency in the end. But the big battle is from P7 to P17. That's quite the queue. And then obviously not to forget the top three. But then again, Mishka and Shifas aren't going to do anything stupid because they're teammates. So it's just what can Brandon and Tabone do.
And your Tortoise having the dullest race of anyone on the entire track. Very lonely fourth.
Yeah, I think he's got the pace, he's just not got the consistency, and that's going to be crushing here. So, I mean, it's all about this mighty 8K Lacine versus our poor 2K Jan Schuttler, who was good in qualifying. Like, he banged in some good laps.
Yeah, qualified up in 7th. He's lost 3 places from his race start. Don't know if Lewis will be able to get a replay actually of Korshavin's start, because I'm really curious how
Eric
Korshavin
van
went.
Spijker's dropped a couple. Yeah, he's dropped quite a few in the last few moments there.
Yeah, Nova had a spin, I think, earlier on in the race as well, so he's done well to come back as far up as this, and he's going to get another place there. He's up to 30th. That was a very good move.
Yeah, something had definitely happened to Spike. I think he lost 4 positions on this lap.
Just Macchioli, he's out. Don't know what happened to him. But everyone else on the lead lap, we'll see if anyone gets lapped. I hope no one gets lapped, because that would be a nightmare to lap someone around here. But,
well, we're at 30 seconds, so we're okay for the moment.
well, we're halfway through the race, so we'll see. But usually once drivers are in a rhythm, the back markers tend to be a little bit faster.
Sam knows he's in trouble if we get lapper situation. Needs to be careful with that. Slow down.
Alexis Veal not happy today, seemingly. Delachas car's not looking great. Albeit BT's at 2nd up in 5th. Him and Veal very much waving the Delachas flag today, with Lucas Selman, 2nd place in the championship, missing for this round.
Very hard to pass here. You almost want to fill their mirrors and induce a mistake, but then not get caught up in it.
Oh, Tabone getting closer and closer to Shepherds, who's lost a little bit of the draft now from his teammate, which might leave him a bit more vulnerable.
But what do you do there? When you're forced to the outside, you're not going to go all the way around the outside of one with any...
The scene has got past Schuttler, and it looks like he's got it done as well. Schuttler's dropped another place, in fact. Grieving up to 11.
Yeah, we'll have to look at that.
Can he get clear?
Oh!
Yep.
I thought that was going to be a lot tighter than it was. Yeah, we're trying to get a replay of what happened there, because every overtake on this track is going to be content.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a big one for the scene. Championship leader. Looks like he's going to get reverse grid pole if he can hold on to it.
Yeah. Oh, no. What's happened there? Careful, son. So if you force them the outside here, or anywhere at this track, whoa! Well,
I think that's all fair.
well,
second down to a question of strength. Of course, the last time those two went alongside into that corner, Vieira just went straight on. They made contact before and Vieira couldn't get it stopped. So that time he made the corner and he used every
Was that
pound of that.
Theo and Viella again?
That was Vieira and Torquio.
Oh, it was Tokyo.
Yeah, but Viola is right on those guys now, as well as Brown.
Can't be an easy car around here. Apart from over the curbs, like, cannot be an easy car around here.
So 9 minutes to go. Heads up as well, of course, that's Apex Racing League will be announcing a new series tomorrow. So
Is this your announcement announcing an announcement again?
I was announcing the announcement back on Monday. This whole week, I've just been left, right and centre, a whole media tour of about the announcement coming tomorrow.
Wow.
So do make sure to check out the Apex Racing League Discords and Apex Racing League social medias, as well as our Discord. There's a link to that in the description below. And also entries for this series might reopen for the final 2 rounds as well. So keep an eye on that if you're curious. If you want to race at Long Beach and Imola, which are 2 very good circuits to give a go. A bit of a tough one to enter your first race in this series at Long Beach, but could be fun.
What a track, though, to end the season at Imola. I think it's makes for some fantastic racing. Okay, some more replays coming in. So this is what happened with... Was this Korshavin?
So that's how he gained 3 places
so that's
on
how
the
he...
start Korshavin.
Wow. So this is how Schuttler lost 2 positions. He just... Yeah, he opened up the inside there and he wasn't able to shut the door. This is what I mentioned earlier about dropping a tyre on the grass. Same sort of analogy. You can't be opening the door. So,
oh, no.
I don't get that. That's really weird. Grass is grippy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, that's some weird throttle management. Just keep it planted and, yeah, just... I mean, it's like racing grass. I find it... I've done laps of tracks just going around the grass. If you start yeeting off the throttle and all that rubbish, then, yeah, you can induce a slide. Teammates.
Nova now catching up to Herkenrath.
Yeah, and that's what you get for driving the Acura, right? Perhaps it's just rubbish on grass. I wouldn't know. I don't like it. Not biased or anything.
So Nova moves past, and Spike will just get underneath as well.
Yeah, this is it. You can't let through a car at this track. That's why the Impulse boys did it so strategic when they did on lap 1.
Oh no, there was contact.
Yeah, I don't think this is Spiker's first time on the gravel.
Van Spiker may be feeling the wrath from Justin on that occasion.
Very good. Yeah, we'll get a replay of that, of exactly what happened.
Your man, Ochapinti,
Yep.
doing very well. 2nd place in the AMS.
I can just tell from his eyes. He's fired up and ready for this.
Yeah. That big single white eye.
There's 3, actually.
Oh, sure. I was counting them as pupils, but...
Lots of... I was about to say lots of Porsches, but I don't actually see that many on the standings. There were lots of Porsches. Yeah, there were. It's not been the car for race, by the looks of it.
None of the top 13 are Porsches.
And the Porsches are down 7, down 4, down 1, down 1, down up 3. Okay. I'm not sure what happened, but Leon Mishka's pulled out a 2.5 second gap over his teammate. Frederick Coates looking very strong. P7, obviously leading the Pro-Ams to Robin Wist. Robin Wist is P9 currently, P2 in the AMS. And in AMS, Dustin Rink is looking very strong. P19, his nearest competitor is Ochapinti in 22nd. Yeah, looking very impressive. The biggest losers out of race 1 at the moment is, Magaloli and Eric Van Spijker, who we just saw off the track.
Oh, this is going to get a little bit messy. I mean, the Corby esports can cover the entire circuit here and just block everyone else, whilst not trying to kill each other as well. They've got Hutchinson and Moeller just behind, and they are... Oh, don't make it 3 wide. No, what was the point in that? And... that... no, it did go bad.
Yeah, I mean, I have a phrase that I use all the time. Do stupid things, win stupid prizes. Yeah, and the Cold Ice guys, what they were trying to pull off. Look, against the rules or pro the rules, you know, agitating your competitors is one way to get agitated.
Well, there was, I think it was Moeller who tried to go down the middle of the 2 of them though, and that didn't seem very smart.
You would have, well, if teammates were side by side and you felt like they were planting it, you would as well. Honestly, it's just, it's an emotional thing. I'm not saying it's right, but yeah, you feel, you know, it's not a team, like it's a sprint race of drivers. Yes, you represent a team.
Brown might finally get past Beal here.
I don't know, no. We've seen this accident over and over and over again. If you're going to do it on the outside, you can't be muscling. You've got no muscle to muscle in. They can just brake and go deep, and they're not doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
You're just unable to turn. If you get clipped, you're gone.
Coco just staying ahead of Euler, but barely. On that P7, we've got, what, 3 more laps to go after this.
All right, lots of replays coming in.
Oh, it was a tiny tap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll be I think that could be a penalty. Yeah, he's not alongside that.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I didn't understand what you were saying at first. It's hard because the stewards need to take into consideration, like, did he overslow us? Because it didn't look like he was trying to make an overtake, is what I was trying to get at. Oh, this is not... Whoa!
Oh, and can his teammate pull it off? Sialpi on the outside.
What was that? That was dangerous.
Sialpi, of course, who took reverse grid pole last week. Still
Hello.
behind Betonas.
Hello to John in chat. Hope you're well, mate. Oh no, yeah. Yeah. There you go.
Vist has got past Euler for 8th. Vist has yeah, he's got it.
I think the Cold Ice guys have melted the ice with
Look
their
at
temper at the
Greven.
moment.
Greven might be able to get up into 10th place here on Lacine, or can Lacine gain a place himself?
Oh, Lucine's gone too...
Oh, and he gets it done, but here comes Greven trying to get underneath as well, and that's great news for Lacine. He's up into 9th position now.
God, that was some
Greven's
position
on
swaps
the inside as well, so that was an awful couple of corners for Euler. He was trying to get up to 8th. He's now down to 11th.
Yeah, Euler probably feels a little bit muscled there. And he's backed out of this one. I think he just needs to breathe. But yeah, what a shame on the couple laps from the end.
So that might be our top 10 decided, and I really doubt that Euler's going to have the ability to come back from there. Of course, Biella will still have aspirations to get in the top 10, but that's looking unlikely as well. And still, Coco and Vist, the 2 pro-ams, staying in those top 8 positions. Great defense.
Yep. Yeah, Lacine really maximised that with only a few laps to go, giving Tim Greven the current P10, Viella P12. Can we see a last-minute fight as we enter the white flag? What a drive from this guy. 3.3 seconds off everyone. If you think about how close it was in qualifying. Brandon Spohn, 6/10 off Raymond Schiffers, and then your Tortoise, yeah, another almost 3 seconds back. 10 seconds separate the top 5.
Yeah.
And yet, how close qualifying was. It goes to show that the harder factor here is just the level of consistency needed.
Yeah, and I feel like we saw Mishka in qualifying looking like he was about to improve each time.
Yes.
And then would just miss out by a few hundredths.
Yeah.
I think he probably had a few laps which would have been enough for the front two
Yeah,
races.
like you said, I think there was a lot of P2s in his laps, whereas, yeah, your Tortoise in 4th took him almost the whole session to get the lap he needed. But it's a tricky track. Is Simon Livingston really going to try the outside here, or is he just going to tuck in? And he is trying something. He is trying something, but it's here. This line just doesn't really work. You can usually get clear from the first twist.
So one more chicane to go, and Leon Mishka, well, he hasn't won any of the A or C format races, but he's a master of the B format. That's his third race win of the season, and closes the championship lead as well. He wins out in front of his teammate Shepard's. Great defense from him to beat Tabone.
Tabone looked fast, and he was able to follow so closely.
Coke
take the Pro-Am. Yeah, what a win. Very well deserved. His nearest competitor, Robin Wist, did actually get past, so he's only right behind him, P8.
And reverse grid pole goes to Tim Green, but crucially, championship leader Lacine did get within the reverse grid. Top of the amateurs.
What happened to Dustin Rink?
Very good point. Yeah, I don't know. Occhipinti, though, wins again. And that is typical Occhipinti. Runs second or third in the AMs and then wait for the others to crash.
I mean, the cold ice guys were involved in a lot of incidents in those 5 laps, so I think maybe just one of them was him. Yeah, they seem to be... not right or wrong, I'm not saying they caused anything, but there was a lot of cold ice incidents in the last couple of laps there, so one of them obviously involved Dustin Rink there.
Yeah, I think he went from 17th to 24th with that, so yeah, big disappointment for him, and sort of something that we've seen as well. Last race as well, he was leading in race 1 in the B format and crashed out in that occasion as well. Let's have a look then at our results, and Mishka 3.7 seconds clear. Like I said, Coke top of the Pro-Ams, and yeah, was good news for all those top drivers in each of the classes.
This Jan Schlutzler is 2K.
Yeah.
And he's just up there punching with...
Well, yeah, I didn't realise that he... Yeah, he did great, yeah.
He's almost got AM iRating, and he's finished mid-pack in the pros.
Of course, he was an AM at the start of the season, because some of those cold ice esports drivers, right, they're from a different sim.
Of course.
And so they're fairly new. So I think their iRacing IDs are like 1-1. They're like, they've only signed up in the last few months. So they're still getting that. But yeah, it's taken them a while to get their iRatings up. They need to do more officials to become reflective. But yeah, I think Leon Mishka can take a lot of confidence from that. Probably his best driver of the season. First time maybe that we've seen Mishka actually the fastest driver, I'd say. Maybe Suzuka in the wet, he was the fastest, but his other wins have become in reverse grid races. But this time he was just fastest.
Well, it wasn't flawless. He didn't get pole.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, a very dominant win.
It's an interesting one. Had his teammate not let him past, would he have been able to overtake in normal circumstances? I'm not sure.
Well, you saw how hard it is to overtake there, and pulling off a move on your teammate at a track like this, probably not. But no, I mean, yeah, a well-deserved win.
Yes, really, really good job from him. By the way, of course, earlier on we filmed the late Apex where we discuss all the latest sim racing news, and that is on Apex Racing TV's YouTube channel, which you're currently watching. So do make sure to tune into that at some point. It's also on all podcast platforms as well. So just search the late Apex on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. And today's episode is already up there with chapters as well, so you can skip to wherever you want in the episode. So yeah, do make sure to check that out if you are curious. And of course, we'll be back next week as well at 4 o'clock.
My dog loves our podcast.
Yeah.
If you're ever lonely, I just chuck it on. Here's my voice. My dog knows you so well.
Yeah.
Seriously.
If I walked in...
Yeah, just speak.
Yeah.
Instant family member.
For the reverse grid, I always ask this question. It's quite a dull question, but are we going to see the winner from race 1 move up from 10th place? I guess not. I mean, how far do you think Mishka could get in the order?
No, I mean, not past Tabone. So it's simple as that. Tabone was very, very quick there. His teammate, the pole sitter, what was the name? The Raymond Schiffers. Tabone just couldn't pass him. I think maybe had him on race pace, but overtaking's almost impossible. I don't think Mishka's going anywhere unless Tabone...
So where do you think Tabone will finish?
Don't think he'll finish. It's a reverse top 10.
Genuinely, you might be right.
This is going to be hard.
Yeah.
You've got Korshavin, Ubitsu, these guys fight hard. I mean, fair but hard. If there's any door-to-door action, we're going to see hairpin tears. We really are.
So Grieven is on pole then ahead of Lacine. He might be the favourite for this one, Lacine. And Sheffers and Mishka with some work to do for Impulse from 9th and 10th. Everyone else is in the same order. But yeah, anyone who's followed Apex Racing Team's PEC GB Championship Challenge knows how dangerous these reverse grids can be for even quite small. Like, at least for me, a 10-car reverse grid, that's tiny. We've commentated on races in the past on the channel years ago, which would have 40-car reverse grids, and they were chaos. But 10-car reverse grids can cause a lot of issues, and we could well see the same here. But of course, a lot of pressure on Mishka, who's of course got the best chance at challenging for the title after that race 1. He's probably about 30 points now, I would have thought, behind Lacine in the championship. So obviously he can't really imagine to beat Lacine. Lacine starts sitting 8 places ahead of him. But to get as close as he possibly can will be a big incentive for him.
Let's see if the Ford can fire up his tyres quick enough. We saw them every Ford really struggle at the start of the last race, whereas the Acuras, the Lambos, Audis, Macas were just absolutely on it. So yeah, I worry for Lacine. I think either first or fourth, that kind of analogy after lap 1.
Yeah, he might be done on the jump as well, on the P3 man. And see if Impulse play any games as well when it comes to the launch for Grieven. He might tell his teammates when exactly he's going to launch.
I would hope not.
Let's see. He leaves it a little bit longer than race 1, and they definitely did do a tactical launch there. It's a great start for Grieven. Lacine tries to hold on. It looks like he's going to do so. Vist looking pretty aggressive, trying to go down the middle there. Lacine holds on, always makes contact with the pulses, so he does make a bit of contact.
Oh.
And round goes Vist. And we've got some of the Impulse cars involved. We've got
Korshevin, Tabone, Ubitsu, Jason Hodgins. I mean, there's a second wave of crash.
Oh, and now a huge incident as well at the old hairpin. A lot of collisions, and we've got some huge changes. The drivers getting 13, 14, 15 places. The top 2 are the same as they started, but everyone else is different, and I think that's Mishka way off the track, one of the drivers who got involved.
Okay, so we lost Liam Mishka, Dominic Korshevin, Jason Hodgins, Alexei Brokin, Rosamund Vist, Jan Schuttler, Mike Epstein, Mark Hutchinson, Alexei Ville, Alessandro Torchio, Jan Nova, Andrew Viella, Pierre Butsu, and yeah, and that's on the ones I caught. Brandon Tabone as well, who's going again. I mean, what I want to see, because we're looking down at the data studying the first incident, when the second incident happened.
Yeah, me and David didn't see the second incident. We're probably the 2 people.
I am worried it was all, not on his fault, but Tim Grieven. I think Tim went in a bit hot in T1, hoping to get the jump. I think he lost the rear. I think he checked up. I think Lacine tapped him. I think it caused a check-up. I think it called whist to NDM spin. I think that wiped out half the grid. And I think someone tried to carry on, probably a teeny bit of damage, lost it in the next corner, and then that was everything. I'm just guessing here. I think Tim Grieven lost the rear, the leader. That's my call.
A lot of damage on the front of Tabone's car, but he's still managing along. As long as he hasn't got a meatball, he'll try to continue around. The drivers do get a faster pair, so the drivers who are able to limp back to the pits might still be able to salvage something from this race. We'll be able to catch up to the back of the pack.
But David Moeller, P9 up 10 positions. Andrew Brown, 7th, up 8. Raymond Schiffer's the real winner here, 4th, up 5.
Yeah, a lot of green.
A lot
of green.
A lot of movement, yeah.
15th place game for Sebastian, 17 for Van Spiker.
But I called it from Brandon. You said where. I said he won't. But yeah, I'm just trying to remember the incident in my head, and I think I've Sherlock Holmes'd it. I think the leader was just full push A.
So there's going to be a lot of, well, there's going to be a lot of overtakes from here, maybe even more so than what we anticipate because so many drivers out of position. There goes Korshevin up the inside, so he dropped a lot of places to Korshevin, down 16, but he's got a fairly clean car.
Yeah, he was definitely caught up in the first accident. I saw his name drop, but him and Brandon Tabone maximised when the second incident happened. So yeah, they would find themselves into the like 28th to 35th position, but yeah, there was a big second accident.
Oh, change for the lead potentially. Lassine's going for it. And has Lassine done it? He has. Or has he? No, Grieven's pulling back alongside. This may not be the best line for Grieven. I think you've got to give the advantage to Lassine. Grieven's pretty tight on the inside. Needs to make sure they don't make contact. And Grieven does hold on.
Yeah,
that was good effort.
The Audi's too good.
And there's contact. And they somehow keep it going. But look at Shepherds rapidly gaining. And that is just what Grieven needs.
And that is probably the aggression you're seeing from Lassine. If he gets a whiff of that you aren't pushing on exits, sir, I will use my Ford to persuade you to move. But yeah, these guys have made contact twice, that we've seen.
So Shepherds, who was very, very quick in qualifying and in race 1, and he'll think he could maybe get a first and a second out of today.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm excited for the replays. I really want to see if my hypothesis was correct.
So top 6 separated by about 2.5 seconds. Well, you can see actually, sorry, on screen it's 1.8 seconds.
All right, here we go. Replays.
So Lassine sort of went quite deep here. Made a little bit of contact.
What happened to Wist back there? Was it Korshevin into the back of Wist? Let's see. Oh, Wist just tracks out into him.
Wist went into Kokok, I think.
Yeah.
No chance for Mishka to avoid. Korshevin was off to the side, he got spun.
Yeah, so the leader was parking, but didn't cause the Wist incident. Oh,
so that was Biella into Tokyo, and that was the second
that's
incident.
Third time we've seen those boys bang doors.
I imagine Biella will argue that he had part of his car alongside, but I'm not sure if he did.
The Ford?
Yeah.
I like Biella. So you know where this is going. But no. That was a door that was closed and was even more closing as the corner approached. And yeah, I just hate to see it, but we've seen those boys. I mean, we don't get to see every accident and every battle on track, but we've seen those guys hit each other 3 times really quite hard.
Up the inside goes Mola on Brown. Ooh, Brown's going to do well to keep hold of that.
Again, I only saw it from a TV cam. It is very difficult with these sweeping angles we see. But the steward will be up all night.
It would help our viewing figures if we just did a live poll for the live streaming, because then your teammates would have to tune in. I think that might be a good
almost like the opposite of fan boost.
Yeah.
Penalty boost. Do you remember back in the day where VCO used to put their track choices on Twitter?
Yeah, VCO's done that, haven't they?
Until Redline would take part and Verstappen would retweet with the track, and all of a sudden the track gets won by 300,000 votes.
Yeah. When
usually we only see 600 as the winning.
Yeah. Grieven a little bit wide out in the lead, but he's got a little bit of a gap now, as Grieven. Trying to figure out what's happened to some of our front runners in the Pro-Ams. Of course, Kokok's still doing really well. But this championship leader in the Pro-Ams down in 28th. He was involved in the first collision, I think. So bad news for our championship leader in the Pro-Ams.
So the first incident was caused by this missing T1 and tracking out into, who was it? Kokok?
Kokok, I think.
Yeah, Kokok. Yeah. And the second incident was caused by Viella getting into Alexi Ville. Tokyo. Yeah. I always think it's them two for some reason.
Here comes Andrew Brown. He's looking very quick today, is Brown.
Yeah, definitely making the Ford work for him, but watch. if you're going up against a Porsche or an Audi and a Lambo in these S's, like, look how they come out of it, if I'm right. Oh no, I am completely wrong, so look away.
Round up to 9th then. And with the bouncing that's probably going to occur up ahead, could get a few more from here. Ochapinti, of course, having huge points. I mean, if Ochapinti can convert this, he will have one hand on the
Well,
championship trophy.
all of the AMs are up. Let's not forget that. Russ Fowler, P12, Rink 13, Antonio Britones 14, Simon Livingston 16. We have just lost a lot of pros and pro-AMs. The AMs didn't get involved in any of that nonsense.
Yeah. Yeah, both incidents happened within the top 10.
Yeah. The top 16, and remember there are 35 cars, are made up of 50% AMs. So they're the real heroes in all this.
Of course, do check out the live timing. There's a link to that in the description below. This is a very long queue of cars. See, Alfie's at the front of it. Then it's Fowler, Rinker, Britones, Sebastian, Livingston, Tabone, and Van Spiker.
Yeah, I mean, I know Tamboni's got damage, but I mean, he's really got pace.
Yeah.
But he is missing the front portion of his car, right?
Yeah, that happened on lap 1.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, he's got the pace, and
Looks like a modified, that.
he's got a lot of cars in front of him. So it really depends what on his car it's affecting.
Well, yeah, it might be even worth him.
No.
Well, I was going to say let his teammate pass, but they've just got similar liveries.
Oh, I thought he was going to say stop for a fast repair. Like, hey, no way, mate. No way. But yes, they do have similar liveries, that's for sure.
Yeah, but yeah, not affiliated, so those two drivers. Rinker just looking to convert this one.
Tabone with a look.
I think he's got Livingston here.
Yeah. Well, let's see how much it's affecting his aero. Oh no, Livingston's going very wide. He's trying to tuck back in. Yeah. Might be a bit of a dangerous ploy though, that wide line to tuck in, because you're going to leave yourself a little exposed. It's just not the kind of track you want to open a door, because it's very hard to close. Very hard to close. And Eric Van Spijker's looked fast, and I mean, he got involved in a lot of incidents in that first race, so depends how much Sam Livingston wants this. Got 2 pros behind him, 2 very fast guys as well, Spiker and Corby.
So Grieven's gap comes down. It's now below 0.3 of a second. Last lap he lost a 10th. Jeff is probably the fastest guy out of these top 6, but unable to do too much of it.
This is going to be big points for Frederick Koch. He's had 2 really good races, a P4 and a P4, I think. That's huge for a Pro-Am.
Yeah, and with this down the order, where will he be? He's 3rd in going into this round. Yeah, he'll be in contention. He will be in contention. And this worst score isn't a good one either, so it's not to say the drop score will come in and save him. So yeah, our Pro-Am Championship is going to look really interesting. Oh, contacts. And Shepherds, this could be his chance for the win, maybe. Here he comes, past Lacine. And how will they choreograph this? And there's contacts. Lacine moves to the right. And into the wall goes Raymond Shepherds. And off goes Grieven as well. And Lacine might take the lead after all. Or will someone else take the lead? It's 3 wide. And all of a sudden, Tom Euler feels like he could perhaps come from absolutely nowhere to take the lead. Almost midway through this race. Here he comes. Does Grieven still have a little bit of that slowdown to serve? Euler round the outside. He's still just 100th of a second behind, desperately trying to get his nose ahead. But after all of that, Grieven is the race leader, and I think there might be a sizable penalty coming the way of Corentin Lezine.
Yeah, obviously he's getting the penalty. I mean, I think he just feels like Tim Grieven is absolutely parking on exits. And that whole incident was around a very, very slow exit from Tim Grieven again, where Corentin Lezine made contact from behind, giving the teammate a long run. And I mean, Lezine saw red. We could see it. I think he made his body language quite clear. Guys, this isn't happening. You're not, like, no.
Well, we can establish now that Grieven will not let past Lacine for the rest of the race. Like, that just isn't an option now. So if they do race against each other again, so right now, Euler being between them is the best chance that either of them have at finishing this race.
Yeah, I mean, Lacine knows the penalty's on him once he calms down and sees it in fresh eyes without emotions attached. But yeah, I mean, if he was suspecting Grieven was constantly parking it, I mean, I called Grieven out a couple of times, I think twice, and I'm not driving the car. So yeah,
Shepard's had to tow back to the pits. He was fairly close to the pits, but was stranded in the middle of the track with no drive.
Oh yeah, he was sent to the moon, mate. All right, so we've got a replay.
So yeah. Oh, so it was probably that second tap which really pushed him over the edge.
Well, I think it's the parking that probably annoyed him the most. Oh yeah, that's
really bad from the scene. I mean, and then he did that. I didn't realise that was the tap. I mean, this could be big for our championship because Lacine obviously was basically on course to win the championship, and here comes Euler. Well, of course, an intentional wreck would be a disqualification from the championship, and that's a decision that the stewards will have to decide whether that falls under it, and he came back for thirds as well afterwards. But good of Euler there not to get too overexcited going for the lead and back into second place. Well, I mean, yeah, I know, I don't, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I say,
I'm very disappointed.
I mean, we all get red mist. We all get red mist. As I say, it's up to the boys to protest. I don't know if I don't know. I'm not driving the car. We've seen Lacine be a very chill, composed guy all season long. I don't know. I know how I would feel if I felt like I was being completely manipulated by him parking in front of me. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's up to the stewards.
Yeah. So we're halfway through the race, and Grieven is still in the lead. So
these boys I know he's smart.
Missing the front of his car. He's passed Bretones up to 13th now. Sebastian will try to go with him as well. And he's got very good speed there. So Bretones loses a couple of places. Sebastian up into 14th place. Korshevin will be next. He won't have any hesitation. We know how racy the Ukrainian can be.
Yeah, he's very good at the old door-to-door action. Hopefully I'm not cursing it, but yeah, very good to the door-to-door action. We saw him go toe-to-toe with Talman and come off ahead, which not many people have ever survived that bout. Yeah, we saw Korshevin, and he's pulled it off excellently here. Look at that. Whoa.
Yeah, we'll get it done.
I don't know if he will get it done, actually. Yeah, no.
Bretones goes wide onto the grass.
Yeah, see, that was a little bit much from Korshevin. Like, it was a great move, but he wasn't no longer in the fight for the corner, and I think he just went a little bit lungy there. But again, these TV cameras are awfully difficult to judge speeds and angles. Uh-oh. The Porsche was smart.
Yeah, that's Hodgson. I think got the amateur pole earlier on. Mishka, by the way, who of course got involved in the first incident earlier on, occasionally he just keeps setting fastest laps, basically. He's absolutely
we've lost Antonio Bretons.
No, that was the Joe who we just saw in the wars. And maybe he did come to blows with Hodgson in the end. But yeah, those drivers who came into the pits earlier on to get their faster fares, Mishka is the leader of them, I think. Barry side from the pits, but yeah, Mishka trying to get back to the rear of the pack. He might just miss out.
Yep.
See him down in 24th place there. He's got 6 seconds to gain to the next car. So Barry, I think Barry started from the pits. I'm not quite sure, but I could be wrong because his pits time is very, very long. I could be wrong. But yeah, Barry 21 seconds off the lead and up 11 from his start.
I was just thinking, oh, Viella, of course, got caught in the second accident. So yeah, he's
caught is one way to put it. Instigated is another.
Yep.
Michael Erberstein saying, unfortunately, there was a complete power outage in my city. My goodness, Michael. I'm not sure. I think Michael's based in Germany, as far as I'm aware. So
See, obviously iRacing to me matters a lot, so I have 3 backup battery generators running permanently.
Yeah.
So if I lose power, I have 1 for my PC, 1 for my DDU, and then 1 for all the peripherals and everything. But you know, it's either that or losing 70 iRating. What would you rather?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, spend thousands. Brilliant. See? No, when I was living in North Carolina, it was awful. It was like once every 2 weeks, I'd lose power for 10 to 30 minutes. Oh, and I had a 4th one on the router. That one could last. You could power a router for a couple of weeks. That's how low powered they are. A DD, you can power every time you turn the wheel with high force feedback. Honestly, you are draining it so hard. It's unbelievable.
Do I really need to take this chicane? And
No, you just turn down the
use it
FFA. You've got to. Honestly,
Okay, yeah.
it would be like 98, 97, hairpin 83. They generate a lot of electricity.
Fowler's very close to Cialfi. Yeah, good race for Russ Fowler. Always in the top 5. It feels like Russ Fowler in the amateurs. Not often right at the top, but there or thereabouts, and that's where he is right now. He's 2nd place in the amateurs, but this would be his best overall result of the season.
Yeah, surviving both accidents, staying calm, collecting, staying with Cialfi here has really paid dividends. What, I saw some smoke there. I think Spiker went off.
Yeah.
He had a lot of offs last race. Very quick, but a lot of offs.
Yeah, he's already gone off at that corner before, I think, near the end of
Oi,
this one.
oi,
There
oi.
goes the send for Russ. And he might have a 2nd bite at it here. Cialfi really needs his teammate Rinka to help him out there.
And Rinka's fast. I just don't know what happened to him in the first race. I think he just got caught up in something.
Fowler's using the grass on entry and exit. Great sense of speed around this circuit with the fact that the straights are constantly turning. Such a high intensity track.
Yeah. Yeah, very much so. Raymond Schiffers in chat. Well then.
Oh, Daniel Sebastian's had an off.
Oh no.
Sebastian was having a great time, but I think he gained more places than anyone else on lap 1. And he has let go about half of them. He's still up 7. And another driver off at Coppice.
Coppice. As I look round and Sam has a track map open with their names.
Yeah, you talk as though that's like a bad thing to do.
Yeah,
so
being prepared.
Us commentators.
Yeah.
It's like, no. If you don't know it, you
Correct.
don't know it.
You wing it, correct.
Yeah. The double right-hander.
That is how I speak, yeah.
That's old hairpin, right? Yeah, I've been calling that all day. And then Starkey's Bridge, Schwantz Curve, and then McLean's obviously is the right. And then we go into Coppice.
Your Tortoise having a better race this race. Only 1.4 seconds off the lead. Just holding it all together. Torquio and Antonio Britones are duking it out.
Do you think, what do you think is going through Lassine's head right now? Do you think he's like, thinking, as the laps go by, I may have messed up here? Because he doesn't seem to be so close to Euler now.
As a driver, driving, it isn't your fault.
Sure.
As a driver driving, you typically spend the moment reflecting. You never think, I'm a bad person. No, that never crosses your mind.
I'm always thinking that, whether I'm driving or not.
No, see, I don't. Everyone's an idiot. It's all their fault. Afterwards, I'm like, oh, okay. I see why. I see.
Sure.
I try not to reflect while driving. I always think it's the other person's fault.
Okay.
Until I see it in replay, I'm like, oh, it was all me. Okay, whoops.
Hutchinson up 2. I don't really know how you manage that, to be honest. I don't know how in the race that we've seen how you don't either gain 10 or lose 10, but Hutchinson is somehow...
Well, there's an easy way.
Start.
He dodged the first accident, got caught up in the second one, or vice versa.
Yeah.
Because the people that dodged them both, the Russ Fowlers, the Cialfis, the Occupintus, the Dave Mullers are massive winners.
Yeah, he started ahead of the likes of Cialfi Puts Siapi up there in 10th. Oh, look at that ahead.
Brandon Tabone ahead of Russ Fowler.
Yes.
So Brandon is making his way through. Oh, Russ Fowler's going to have another. This battle's been feisty on track. The rink. Yeah. This is going to be tight. That's a wide line. Can't make it work. He's lost 2.
Yeah, Korshman goes through as well. Good, some good progress recently by Taboni. I missed that he passed Rinker. And yeah, that was good. Korshman, the next to go through. He's...
Oh yeah, Tabone's missing the front of his car, was down to 9 on last, and now he's only down 3 in 11th.
He'll probably get one more. And then we'll just be a case of trying to hold back Korshman to the end. Michigan, by the way, 2.5 seconds behind Betones. He's nearly onto the pack. With 6 minutes to go. We'll see how many he can get. You can see him down there in 23rd place. Now, he's only 6 seconds off the top 16. And if he didn't have any cars in front of him, he'd fancy his chances of getting there. But he's got a lot of cars to deal with. I think that's one of the worst feelings, is when you like are miles back, you have a huge pack of cars and you catch them on the last lap. When you think, had I had 2 more laps, I could have had lots of fun and gained about 6 places.
Yeah, I try not to do the what ifs or the... I get that in chat a lot. If I had another lap, I'd beat you. Yeah? Would you? Funny how it's always that lap you need. Funny how it's always that one more.
So these guys are close in a bit. We've got the top 5 very close, and Guven is just about holding on. You know, Tom Euler's I think he's a sensible driver. I might have to check at the penalty sheet, to be honest. I might be saying something wrong. I think he's had a clean season as Euler. Yeah, it'd be quite a good result for Guven if he can hold on to this one. I wasn't confident that he would hold on against Lacine, but he just about did, and since then Euler's sort of been protecting him.
Look at those reflections off the back of the car. They're slightly better than I remember.
So I can confirm Euler has had...
Little Minecrafting.
1 penalty this season.
Dirty driver.
It was a quite big one, to be fair. He got 30 seconds hold.
Oh, Brandon
to
Bar and Sialfi. Sialfi's coming back through. Don't think Brandon's going to be able to answer to this, and he probably needs to be more worried about Korshevin. Yep. And what? Oh, yeah, Korshevin's got this. Depends on the exit. Oh, Korshevin may have them both. I'm not sure where Sialfi was looking there, but.
A mistake as well. Further ahead, contacts. Whoa. Oh. I mean, why is he turning right on the exit? But they got through it, and look at the queue of cars behind. And Korshevin still trying to go for it. He's in the middle, and through around the outside goes to Bone.
Yeah, I think.
And he might get both.
Korshvin's going to be pretty frustrated right now. I think he feels. I think he's going to try and push Brandon and.
Well, this could end in tears between Sialfi and Korshevin. Sialfi will stay down the inside. Korshevin will push around the outside. Enough room is just about being given.
Korshvin's done
contact, and he is ahead. He might need to cover it off, though, into this next one.
I do like Korshvin's driving style, I have to say. He's been very impressive to watch all season long.
Defence Fowler trying to get past now.
Yeah, as long as that was defence and not reaction, then I'm all for it.
Fowler now the one on the defence against
Yeah.
Livingston. Livingston will do well to do anything here. He backs out
careful,
of it.
Livingston.
The others battling themselves. I mean, that's Viella, of course, who's very, very quick. Was it Viella? Yeah, it must be, right?
We're going to see some action here into T1.
Now that's Viella a lap down. So we've got some drivers who are lap down in all this as well. Who towed back at the start of the race. So Viella's not actually in this fight. So actually it's looking a bit better for Livingston. He's got a couple of lapped cars between him and Herkoner. Is it 3 laps to go? It'll be close across the line. They need to cross the line with...
Tom's looking quick. I mean, don't rule him out here, actually. Not long to go, but...
Okay, so it's only 2 more laps to go. They're going to miss out on the third lap by about 4 seconds. Uh-oh.
3 people went off the track. I think it was Hutchinson, and someone else. It all happened so fast. 3 people, definitely. Yeah, I count 6 tyre marks. So yeah, 3 cars off the track. All right, you check corner names and I count tyre marks, all right? We each have our uses.
Yeah. That's the only thing we're bringing this.
Correct.
Mishka's up to 20th now. I mean, that was a big impact, actually. I think that caused a lot of incidents for, yeah, those drivers.
Was that an impact pun? Was you... No, the team driver doesn't drive for impact. I thought you was going for something there.
No, I don't think there is impact in this series.
Oh, that was the Daytona thing. 2.4.
0.28. That was a good corner there from Yuli. He's got a little bit closer again through Coppice. And Roberts now, the chicane. Oh, but he's dropped a little bit back there. This might even be half a chance for Lacine. 1 lap to go. White flag is waving. Or is it? I don't know. That was really close. I mean, frankly, they should do an extra lap.
Really close, yeah.
But often iRacing errs on the side of, let's not do an extra lap.
Yeah, I think it's lap plus a % of deviation. I just don't know what it is.
But the drivers will know. They will have the white flag waving. Oh, Lacine way wide. I think he might be carrying a bit of damage.
I think Euler was way wide. Lacine was a little wide.
Rinker, I mean, what is it with Dustin Rinker and the final 3 laps of a race? Because
not sure.
It always goes wrong. I think that's 3 races in 4 now that it's happened.
Yeah, we'll try and quickly get a replay if we can of what happened there. But yeah, that's really cost him because he's looked quick. Like for his class, like he could have possibly got a top 3 easily in both races, and it's just not panned out that way.
Is this the checkered flag for Grieven?
No, is that white or checkered?
I don't know.
Throw it
It's just
slowly.
a white. Yeah, otherwise it would come up on our overlay.
Yeah.
So we've got 1 more lap to go. We just about made it. And having to go defensive now is Lacine. Not sure if this is worth it, Hardus. Particularly seeing that a penalty is definitely coming the way of Lacine. There's probably no use in actually pulling off this overtake. Top 2 managing to scamper away. Let's see how close Coco and Mola are. 2 seconds away from Pro-Am winning this race.
Yep.
Yeah, it's looking all good for Grieven and more good points for Impulse.
Oh, Tokyo with
back to the pits. That could be fuel. Or, no, I was going to say incidents actually, but he has stopped.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that is.
Oh, yeah, 3 seconds, maybe.
Faster?
Yeah, the car looks all right, though.
Yeah, but if he had a meatball for 3 laps and now he has to serve it, yeah.
So, here we go then. It's going to be another Impulse win. 3 in a row then, if you count back at Spa. And Grieven holds on from pole position to win race 2. Tortoise beats Lacine on the line. I wonder if Lacine ran out of fuel. So Euler finishes 2nd, Tortoise in 3rd, Lacine 4th. Coco wins another Pro-Am race.
Ochapinti celebrating.
Yeah, amazing work for Ochapinti. He has almost won the title. Off goes Koroshavin. All those places gains. And he leaks a bunch of them right at the last. He might even have a slowdown to serve as well. I think he got a drive-through as well. I think he went over the instant limit.
Oh, that's a 40-second pen.
It will be a 40-second pen.
He can't serve it, yeah.
Can't serve it.
Oh, no.
And that may have been Tabone hitting him. Both were involved in collisions on lap 1. And that'll be unfortunate for Kushman. It's quite a short pit lane here, but you cannot serve it either way on the last lap.
That's right. Lewis is getting us a replay. I can see him scuttling.
Needs octopus. Yeah, a lot of arms basically in order to find everything that went on later on. What a chaotic race, and not necessarily for the good reasons. I think that was a bit of a... Sometimes you get like an F1 race where it's like, I enjoyed this, but I feel like I shouldn't enjoy it because I enjoyed it for all the wrong reasons. And I think that was that race. We had 2 big crashes on lap 1. We had possibly an intentional wreck, which could be crucial for the championship, and a few other incidents.
Yeah, I thought race 1 was good qualifying, good composure, well-driven, smart racing. Second race, poor decisions, no composure, frustration, red mist, bad decisions, poor driving, bad decisions. Yeah. I think I've said a few of them twice, but a lot of them did their decisions twice. So I didn't love race 2. Really pleased for a few of the drivers out there who, you know, Utortus, Kokok, Mola, Otto Pinti, really solid. Russ Fowler, Cielfi. So we can't rule it as everyone. Solid races from some, but must do better.
Yes. Let's have a look at the results then. Gruben winning out ahead of Euler and Utortus. Kokok, Mola, and Pinto. What a great result for all of them. And yeah, Ochapinti getting good points. Fowler actually did pretty well to stay in 11th ahead of Livingston. So
it was a tough pack, yeah.
So many of those drivers will be delighted, and so many of those drivers will be disappointed. Big winners, big losers. One of the drivers who, we've got a couple of the Impulse drivers to have a chat with. I think first up, we'll have a chat with Leon Mishka, I think, because he managed to win, of course, in race 1, and then, of course, had a big setback in race 2. But Leon, really congratulations on that race 1. Let's talk about that race 1 first up. First up, that lap 1, it seemed a little bit choreographed between yourself and Raymond. Was that just a tactical move for the championship standings on that lap 1 to switch places?
Yeah, first of all, congratulations to race 1 podium and race 2 podium. Yeah, it was tactical because we knew I had a few better 10s pace over the course of the race. And yeah, pretty much with Corrington starting P11, I guess. We knew we could do 1-2 and give me some good points. Yeah, to pull back off Corrington. And yeah, controlled the race pretty decent. And then yeah, coming into race 2, yeah, couldn't do much there. Unfortunate spin. Some guys did not well in turn 1, and Raymond shouted to me, "Be careful, spin!" And yeah, couldn't react in time, and it's unfortunate. Every time I have very very good pace, I could have go to top 5 easily, I guess, back. It's just unfortunate that you get taken out in turn 1 in the second sprint race in such a big race where you could have taken very important points off Corrington. It's unfortunate, but yeah, P16 in the end showed that I can what I had in pace terms.
Yeah, that was we saw your on board of that race too, and you had absolutely zero chance. I imagine that call from your teammate was basically a tenth of a second before you made contact, so no chance to avoid that one. Yeah, how was it in that race too? I mean, because I was sort of keeping an eye on it, and it was pretty marginal whether you were going to catch up to the pack or not. You just about did. And then talk us through those last couple of laps, because it really seemed to kick off in front of you with a couple of laps to go, and you managed to gain a lot of places.
Yeah, the guys yeah, tumbled a bit, fighted some spins, and I just kept going flat out and tried to gain places as much as I could, and yeah.
Well, that was yeah, good damage recovery from yourself. You still get some decent points, and yeah, we will see where you are in the standings after that. But before we let you go, Leon, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, to my team and to Raymond for letting me pass.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having a chat with us, Leon, and see you back in 2 weeks.
GG's.
Yeah, bye. Thanks.
Leon Mishka, their race 1 win. Clearly very disappointed with that result in race 2, but yeah, he wasn't even directly involved in the incident. It was just one of the main drivers who got caught up in the background.
Exactly. I mean, it happens, especially on race 2. I mean, we've talked about this. We've had this race 2 conversation a lot between us, not just on this league, but any league, any race format that does it. It is always tough. Qualifying's there for a reason, right, to put people in order. So it creates this instability and yeah, results in very tough racing. All right, let's talk to Hardos Utortus. Hello there, mate. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear just fine. Hello, guys.
Perfect. Hello, mate. First of all, congratulations. I believe a P4 and a P3 and a solid qualifying. How was your day? How did you enjoy it?
Day is whatever, but the race was quite nice. Showed up with not quite the top pace. Just sat back. Couldn't keep up with the top 3 guys in the first race, and then things kind of went my way in the second race.
Yeah, it's always a good day. I saw in qualifying, it looked like you wasn't going to get the lap together. It was quite late, I believe, your lap. Good lap in the end. What was the struggle? Was it just, yeah, like you say, just wasn't fired up enough, or was it just difficult with the amount of cars?
No, the amount of cars wasn't a problem, but it's just a tricky track. You know, short track, not too many corners, and you need to get all of them just right. And yeah, I just struggled to get the lap together, and I wasn't the only one, it seems.
Yeah,
But yeah,
no,
in the
for
end,
sure.
managed to put on a great lap. Was very happy with P4.
Yeah, and she should. And yeah, just a solid. So yeah, qualify P4, finish P3, and then finish P4. How was it like on the tyres and everything? I know it's not the long race, but is it quite a demanding track, this short circuit? Like, how do you find what I'm trying to get is the 1 minute lap times. Does it feel quite repetitive? Like, it makes your stint for a little bit longer?
I enjoy this specifically out of Donington very much without the hairpins. Without hairpins. So it went quick for me. The tires, yeah, the left tires suffer a bit. You need to take care of them. But overall was nice. I had a little bit of front damage on the second race from the incident on the start. So that made it a little bit more tricky and difficult.
Yeah, I bet. And Long Beach and Imola coming up. Are those tracks that you are looking forward to?
Long Beach, I like. I did that. I have a lot of laps on that, so I think I should be strong there. And Imola was. I can't remember last time I did that, so we'll need to put in an extra practice for that.
Nice. So with the season closer, so yeah, try and find the time. Again, congratulations. Nice chatting with you. Is anyone like to give a shout out to?
Definitely my teammate Frederick. He was up here with us today and definitely helped me out in the battle. So yeah, thanks, Fred.
Nice. Yeah, he was very solid results as well. Again, congratulations, boys, and we'll chat to you next race, no doubt.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Your thoughts there? Solid points.
Very solid. Very, very solid. I can't remember actually how this was before this round in the championship. He was 4th in the championship, and he was going 4th.
Quali 4th, finished 3rd, finished 4th in the championship.
Yeah, so maybe still with a chance at the title, dare I say. So we will see how that goes. Finally, we'll have an interview with Raymond Sheffers, who of course did so well in race 1 but had a disappointing race 2. I will say, Raymond, we probably won't discuss the race 2 incident in this. We'll probably leave that to the stewards as to whatever they decide. But let's talk about the race 1 in particular and that pole lap as well, because it was interesting how Leon was saying how he maybe... You guys sort of thought that he had a little bit more pace, and maybe that showed in race 1, but your quali lap, it seemed like you absolutely perfected it.
Yeah, I was really surprised with the lap as well, actually, because in the practice I was struggling to drive like a 3.1, and I don't know, the delta bar kept getting more green on the last lap, and I think I was maybe 3/10 up on my previous lap on the back straight. Took the last chicane easy to avoid the big curb on the exit. And yeah, somehow ended up on the pole.
And then it looked like a really good battle in that race 1, having to defend pretty much all the way. Were there any moments where you thought that you may have just lost the place because you had to go alongside a couple of times to hold on to 2nd place?
Yeah, I had one big moment on the quick right-hander in the first sector where I had to turn my wheel on full lock to keep it on the track. But yeah, it was really close in the second race. Me and Leon discussed, of course, the position swap, but Our plan was to maybe drive away, because in the practice we showed pretty good pace. Leon was a bit quicker there as well. But yeah, Brennan was driving really well as well. I didn't really expect that, to be honest. Yeah, I think he was within 3/10 pretty much the whole race. So yeah, it was a lot of pressure from him. So really surprised how I kept that P2, to be honest. But yeah, happy with it anyways.
Yeah, it was a very tough 25 minutes. And then, of course, looking ahead next week to Long Beach, of course, very different to really any other circuit we visit during the season. Are you one who relishes the opportunity to go to a street circuit?
Normally, I'm good on street circuits, so yeah, I'll try to get a bit more practice in than this week and get my qualifying right, because that's pretty much where you win your 2 races there. I don't know what the format is actually, but I think
Would
the
just
main
be
thing
the
will
one race.
Qualifying. Oh, so okay, yeah, then it's definitely qualifying where you have to focus on the most.
Definitely, yeah. Overtaking will be at a premium at Long Beach. Well, best of luck for you for that one. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, shout out to the boys of Impulse, and special shout out to Tim for getting the W. He drove a really well race.
Yeah, great day for you guys at Impulse with the double win. And yeah, best of luck. You can keep it up in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
Raymond Sheffers there, P2 in race 1, but then didn't finish in race 2. So yeah, Long Beach next up. Oh, really looking forward to that. That is a really
A 1 hour
really
race.
Good track. Yeah.
Yeah, it's demanding. Hopefully we can get through lap 1 clean, but it takes its toll. Obviously on the pace lap, I don't know what. I hate the 2, especially in GTs.
Yeah, we might need to think of something. We could do a single file maybe. So
maybe it depends. I don't know, but it's not that even someone's doing something wrong. You only pick up a little bit of netcode, and if it's one driver just doesn't make the turn, it's just obscene chaos. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. Long Beach and Imola, it's a different way to end out a championship. You know, usually you go to the Daytonas and stuff. So I like this. It's going to be a challenge. They're both challenging tracks. One you're managing walls, one you're managing giant ass curbs.
yes, well, we'll see how the drivers get on with that one. Of course, once again, thanks to our sponsors, Apex Racing Academy, and do make sure to check out their Mercedes AMG GT3 dates packs, which are totally for free this iRacing season. Of course, you can also sign up for the bronze, silver and gold subscriptions as well. The silver and gold giving you access to all of the cars that Apex Racing Academy cover. So do make sure to check out all of that. Of course, check out the Late Apex as well on the channel, or search Late Apex wherever you stream your podcast. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to Apex Racing TV so you can see when we go live in the future. But for now, from myself, Sam Fitzpatrick, from David Sampson and everyone here at the Apex Racing TV esports studio, we will say goodbye and we'll see you back in 2 weeks' time at Long Beach. See you then.
Ciao.